Sripada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 48. Description of Durbar in Panchadeva Pahaad. The manner of addressing men and women by Sri Sripada Sri Vallabha. Sri Sripada gently used to hold Durbar in Panchadeva Pahaad on every Thursday. Sri Sripada used to step on the waters of Krishna river and walk. A lotus was emerging at every spot where he was about to place his step. It is beyond human imagination as to how wooden sandals stood on that lotus. Not only that, walking on water is a wonder. For some time, it used to be a wonder to the onlookers. After some time, it was considered as a common sport. When Sri Sripada arrived at the other bank of Krishna, his devotees were going in advance and were cordially inviting him. The Durbar used to continue till evening. After that, when he was crossing Krishna, he was walking on the lotus flowers that emerged from the water at every step. Then all the devotees would bid farewell. During nights, he was staying in Kurungedda in solitude. Every Friday, he was giving turmeric bits to marriageable girls and to ladies who desire saubhagya, that is, auspicious married life. He used to address elderly ladies as Tayi Sumati. Sometimes he was addressing them as Tayi Anusuyamma Talle. He was addressing women younger than him as Amma Vasavi or Amma Sri Vidyadhara or Amma Radha or Amma Sureka. He was calling elders who were of the age of his father as Ayya or Naina. He was calling young boys as Ore, Abe or Bangaru. He was addressing those who were at the age of his grandfather as Tata. In case of such elderly ladies, he was fondly calling them as Amamma. Daily program of Sri Sripada and Durbar. At times, he was holding the Friday Durbar in Kurungedda. At other times, he was holding at Panchadeva Pahaad. In the same way, the Durbar on Thursday was held either at Kurungedda or Panchadeva Pahaad. It depended on his liking. During the Durbar on Sunday, he delivered lecture on the esoteric yogic vidya. After that, he was inquiring about the welfare of the visitors. He was patiently hearing the difficulties and granting assurance. In the Monday Durbar, he was telling episodes from Puranas. After the discourse, he was inquiring about the welfare of the devotees. In the Tuesday Durbar, he was teaching about Upanishads. After the teaching, he was hearing about individual problems and suggesting solutions and in the same manner granting them assurance. In the Wednesday Durbar, he was explaining Vedas and meaning of Vedas. Afterwards, he was patiently hearing the woes of devotees and was granting assurance. In the Thursday Durbar, he was explaining about Guru Tattva. In this Durbar also, there was a remedying of worries and chronic diseases of devotees and granting them assurance of protection. However, on that day, meals were specially prepared and served to all people. Sometimes, when love for devotees swelled in him, he was personally serving food to them. For some fortunate people, he was personally feeding them. For some people who were very much shy, he used to forcibly push food into their mouths and made them eat. He was telling that his treasure was always full and then there was no question of paucity of money or food. In the Friday Durbar, he was teaching about Sri Vidya. He was invariably distributing turmeric bits. In the Durbar on Saturday, he was teaching about the greatness of the worship of Shiva. Those who saw the Durbar of Sri Sripada were indeed fortunate. Devotees were bringing rice, vegetables, jowar and ragi grains. Every day there was a feast of food, but on Thursday special preparations were made. Some sweet was prepared and distributed to devotees. The heart of Sri Sripada was very tender. If anyone bitten by troubles like snakes came to the Darbar, he used to go out happily after the redressal of those troubles. He used to tell that grace would surely be granted if Sri Datta Purana is read. The love of Sri Pada is that of crores of mothers. He was not allowing anybody to stay in Kurungedda during nights, but he permitted the old sannyasi who accompanied me to stay for some time. I was asked to stay in Kurungedda during night. The old sannyasi was asked to go and live in Kashi and end his life there. My duty was to clean the cooking utensils, preparation of meals, and to look after the comforts of devotees. Meals should be provided at any time to visitors of the Darbar. Even if the visitor said that he had had meals already, he was ordering that as it was prasad of the Darbar, it should be taken without fail. When it was brought to his notice that the food was insufficient and the guests were more in number, he was sprinkling the water from his kamandalu on the food items. Those food items were becoming inexhaustible. It happened like that many times. During night times, celestials used to come in aircrafts to Kurungedda and worship Sri Mahaguru. They were going back after obtaining his blessings. Sometimes yogis from Himalayas were coming. They also used to come by walking on water. Their bodies were effulgent. Sri Pada used to personally serve them food. The meal of Sri Pada consisted only of a fistful of cooked rice grains. He was telling that he would be very much satisfied if his devotees take meals belly full, irrespective of whether it was food made of rice or jowar or ragi porridge or pudding. A washerman named Ravi Das had the great fortune of washing the clothes of Sri Charan. Those who did not abandon their evil tendencies, even after visiting him, were facing peculiar difficulties. Again, for their redressal, they have to take refuge of Sri Charan only. He was telling that obsequious ceremonies should be compulsorily performed for the departed elders. He was telling that all the 18 castes were his children and he had no partiality for anyone, and that he grants results according to the dharma karmas followed by people. He was also remarking that the great opportunity available that day would not be available again, and that he would behave strictly in the ensuing incarnation. He was also observing that his darshan would be available as a result of the merit earned in many births, and that the good opportunity available should be utilized, or else Sadguru Darshan comes only after many births. He was also saying that in the entire wide world, 1,25,000 Siddha Purushas exist in any yuga, and that all of them are his segments, and if one takes refuge in any one among them, his grace emanates through them. He also added that he is the support for all creation, and by his will only creation, sustenance, and liquidation of it happens. When you salute your Guru, he will salute his Guru. Sri Pada said that in this manner, when we salute any Guru, it will ultimately belong to him. It was also said that a Guru protects when deities are angered, but there is no protector against the wrath of a Guru. He further remarked that benefits of this and the other world would be gained by those who worship him, and that no one should be hated in this creation, and when we hate anyone, it will also reach him. He also revered that if he wanted to accord grace, he will not notice even the merits and demerits, but one should have sattvic ideas in him to get his grace. Activities should always be performed with chanting the name of God in the heart. It was also remarked that Kurungedda was a supreme sacred kshetra, and that Ishvara there was an awakened live one, and the deities, sages, and great persons lived there in disguise without being seen by people. There was a suitable place for everyone. He asserted that God's name should be retained in heart while discharging duties always, and that those duties should be in accordance with Dharma. He also observed that on getting his darshan, all the great sins would be removed, and if one follow pious activities, it would be possible to derive auspicious results. Let us follow the divine sayings of Sri Pada in our life and be redeemed.